Okay, so I am out by myself today, which I know is not recommended, but currently scouting spots. And right here is so dangerous, and I don't think I am gonna do this today, maybe ever, but in there looks decent. In there looks pretty good. I'd love to get up in that channel right there in between those two rocks, and I'd love to get up in there. Also under that big rock looks really nice, and then I don't know if the camera will pick it up. I'll try and zoom it in a little here, but oh, right there, like that looks really good to me. And especially you can see on all these rocks that line kind of right there, that shows you where the river gets up to, and she gets cooking through here in the springtime with all the runoff. But this probably isn't it for today. All right, I am downriver a little bit further, and I found this nice little, I mean, it's not the inside bend of the whole river you might be able to see, but she does have a couple cutouts where it might be good, and then she gets kind of wide and deep right here. And also up on this side, we have these nice riffle marks that I have had some luck in, and this isn't gold, this is all mica, which looks a lot like gold, but that's undercut in a way I like to see. And then it does look like someone was working right here, probably maybe 5 years ago, because it's kind of been reclaimed. But I'll do a couple test pans and pick up all the trash I see over here, because it is a little gross. And then I'll get back to you. Also, that's pretty, but... And I'd love to get over there, because you can't really see it from here, but that's like a big tall gravel bar there, and then it kind of wraps around on that far side, and I'd really like to get there, but I do not think that I have tall enough waders to do that. So, well, they don't call it prospecting for nothing. I just did probably 10-15 pans all up and down this side of the river, everywhere that I thought looked even halfway decent, and I got one speck of gold that probably wouldn't even show up on camera. But all things considered, beautiful view, beautiful river, not mad at it. I'm gonna press on. So we're downriver like maybe another half mile, and the river diverges and then comes back together right here, and it looks like that way is the stronger flow. And I mean, obviously the more obvious stuff is there. I can see the darker colored rocks, but my thought is that the river comes here, crashes into this bank, and then deposits things down here. So I'm gonna dig a couple test pans and see what I can get. Also, okay, I am 3 or 4 test pans in here, and this pan is the best I've got so far, which still isn't what I would like to see, but I got like 4 colors. You can see one there, and oh my goodness, my hand is shaking. We got one there, and then maybe if it'll focus, you got like 2 there. Not that one moving around, but yeah, no, I went through this. We have some garnets, but really nothing that looks overly good. I'm gonna throw these back, let them grow bigger. Okay, so 2 thoughts. First of all, I did a second test pan, and that one has 5 colors in it, but I did just now think and realize that I have not been classifying test pans. So like 4 or 5 specks in an unclassified 10-inch pan, not bad. I also see a piece of glass right there, so we're gonna get that when I stop rolling. But might do some work here. See what I can get done. Okay, well, I got that hole dug out. I'm saving the tailings. I'll fill that back in. But I got that first classified bucket dug out. And then I am going to try and speed pan that down as best I can. I will come back with anything interesting. We have found lots of glass so far, so that's always nice. All right, gang. Well, that is our first bucket pan down. And I got, you probably can't really see it, but I got one real nice, pretty garnet in there. So we're gonna tap that down as best I can, make sure that got in the bottom. And then I am going to try and film a swirlback one-handed. So we clearly got 2 or 3 little lead shot balls in there. Not a lot of black sand, but we're gonna see what I can do here. I can't see shit on my phone screen because it's real dirty. But, so, I do apologize if the angles suck. I'm also doing this one-handed. So, well, that might be some nice, real fine stuff up there. I see 1, 2, but I think I see 4. So I'll get those snuffed up, and I guess I'll dig another one out of this gravel bank, because that is just out of that hole, which I'll fill in with those. Okay, it's been like an hour and a half of panning. Those are all the cons that we got, that and combined with yesterday's cons, I do believe. But really, most of our haul is in here. We got a bunch of metal, a whole bunch of glass, a nail, a screw, and then I think, not exactly sure what this baby is, but I think she is iron slag of some nature. Or, I mean, shit, she could be melted down lead. I don't really know. So I think I'm gonna go back up to where we were last video and try and run some sluicing. Okay, I am back where we were the other day with Crow, and I think I'm gonna go for a pretty similar setup, actually. Last time our sluice was set up there, but I think this time I'm gonna set it up there, and I'll move some rocks around and get some better flow, and we'll move some of those rocks so I have somewhere to actually set up a little bit better. And then through here you can see all these darker strains of sand, like right about here. That's all our tailings from last time. So I'm gonna try and stay out of that as much as possible. You can see we kind of develop well, I guess the camera might not be able to see it, but there's kind of another band out that way. But if we just split the middle here, and then we can start getting into those boulders, or gravels, excuse me, pretty good. And there's still a bunch of, ooh, stepped weird there for a second. Still a bunch of stuff we didn't even start to get back here. But I'm gonna break for lunch, and then I think I'm gonna get back to work. I'm gonna try and run 12 buckets today, but I am by myself, so that might be a bit of a tall order. Look at all that nature. That's something else. Okay, well, I'm gonna eat lunch. I'll be back in a few minutes. Right, hold on, I just sat down for lunch, and I don't know if the video will be able to pick him up, but there's a critter of some variety right there, and I don't know if he's a water snake or a beaver or what, so I'm gonna try and catch up to him without spooking him too bad. That might be a water snake. And then we got this vein of black sand here. Yeah, Well, I mean, if you can make out what that guy is in the video, I know the zoom makes that not easy. Please do comment down below. So yeah, now we get, this shit's all really clayey and silty. Like, I'll try and do that. You can see I sink in ankle deep like immediately. So in theory, there should be some gold sitting right in between that silt layer and that clay layer. But, ooh, that actually is pretty promising. That's packed in pretty nice. I might do some digging there. It's got some black sands on top, so that might even, well, that's either all this organic matter or that's tailings washed real far down. Stepped on a slippery rock there, almost ate shit and died. Alright, well, I am gonna actually eat lunch this time. Okay, so I sat and ate lunch right there, and I was kind of digging around in the dirt, and I think, I mean, it would make sense, but I do think we got some pretty nice black sand right here in this undercut, which makes sense. That's where it belongs, but this beach is real pretty, so if I'm gonna dig it, I'm gonna have to be real careful to fill that hole back in and keep it pretty for everyone else. Cause like, look at that, gorgeous, gorgeous. Minus all my equipment, but you know, it won't be too bad. Hopefully. I also hope I didn't record this upside down, but we shall see. Okay, I've done just a little bit of digging right here, and from what it looks like, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it looks like we got our top sand, like 1.5 inches worth of black sand, and then further down we get, sorry, thought I heard something, and then further down we get, it looks like it's just sand again, until presumably there's another layer, or it's just hard pack. But oh, that might be the start of another layer right there. I will do more digging and try and find out. Digging, and it's definitely not showing up on camera, but it looks like you have bands of black sand, but there's just kind of always some in this dirt right here. So that might not be the same for this whole gravel bank, but if I can just follow those first really thick layers of black sand for, like, say, like 4 buckets, excuse me, and then we'll see what kind of gold we're looking at, and we can adjust from there. Okay. Alrighty. I got 4 buckets classified. I got the sluice set up over to the right and dammed off where we had earlier. She's running pretty good. She's clearing pretty good. I'm a little out of breath if you can't tell. But I'm gonna run this. Okay, well, this is our first clean out from the sluice. She processed real fucking fast. And now I'm gonna try and do a swirl back one-handed again. We're doing it real quick because obviously this is all going just right back in the cons container. To go home and get finished panned, but that's a piece there. Oh, I see. Those are 2, those are 2. Ooh, excuse me, the wind's blowing. I'm sure that's fucking the audio up pretty good. There is 2 right there, it looks like. You know, kind of do this sort of action. Oh, that's a bunch. I just washed a bunch away trying to go fast. There's one there. Oh man. Okay. I might have found a decent spot. There's some little lead shards. I will be taking those home. There's some more up there if I can Yeah, there's one there, two there, one over here if I can get the camera to see it. No, it doesn't want to. One up there. This is, oh man, whole bunch in there. I talked in the last video about how much I hate finish panning, but this one might be okay. Man, and we're not even down to the bottom of this pan yet. Ooh, look at that little piece. This is really, really lovely. Oh, look at you. Come on, focus. Oh, I know that wind is doing bad for the audio, but... Woo. I am excited about this. This is good news. This is what keeps me coming back. And then we got, ooh, hello. We got a bunch up there. That is really, really something else. All right, well, I'm gonna see how much time I have left and then see how many more buckets I can do, get the sluice set back up, and apparently we're finding pretty good gold today. I cannot tell you how happy I am about that. Okay, so I got 8 buckets run, which is less than the 12 I wanted to, but that's the pan of cons for the second clean out, if it feels like focusing. Not bad. I am very tired, and as you can probably tell, we're starting to lose the light, and it is getting real cold. So I'm gonna fill in my hole there with the tailings I saved, and then kick those rocks in, and then go home and pan all those cons out. Oh, but since I did find gold, I do get ice cream. So we're gonna stop up in Conifer for an ice cream. Okay, so back at the house, first thing we're gonna do is clean out what was in the snuffer bottle. We got a couple things that look kinda gold adjacent. Couple lead specks maybe, but predominantly what I'm looking for in here is garnet, because I did spend some time sucking garnet up. So I'll come back to you when I find something. Got our pan here, got our water with just a little bit of dish soap in it. And then these are our cons from 2 days of running the sluice. So it looks like we're gonna get to run these 1 spoonful at a time, and we'll go real slow. But what I might do first is actually dump them all in the pan and just try and get all the blonde sands off the top. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay, not sure how well you guys are gonna be able to see it, but those are our garnets. Obviously there's still a little black sand in there, but only got the 1 snuffer bottle, so that'll have to get cleaned up in a little bit. And then over here, we got some nice little pieces of gold, which I think there's still some down in here, but trying to pick proper gold out from mica in this stage is really difficult, so I'm gonna snuff that up and see how far I can get in.